The Second Amendment of the United States Constitution is not just words on paper. It is a living testament to the values and principles that the nation was built upon. It is a powerful statement about freedom and responsibility, a declaration that the right to bear arms is intrinsic to the American identity. It recognizes a fundamental right that existed long before the United States was even formed, the right of individuals to own and use firearms. This right was seen as essential for survival and self-defense in a time when the frontier was wild and untamed. This right is crucial for a free people to defend themselves, their families, and their way of life. It is a means of protection against threats, both foreign and domestic, and a way to ensure personal safety in an unpredictable world. It serves as a safeguard against tyranny, ensuring that the government remains accountable to the people it governs. The ability to bear arms acts as a check on governmental power, a reminder that ultimate authority rests with the citizens. The Founding Fathers understood the dangers of an overreaching government. They had experienced firsthand the oppression and control exerted by a distant monarchy, and they were determined to create a system where such tyranny could not take root. They knew that a disarmed populace is at the mercy of its rulers. History had shown them that those without the means to defend themselves were often subjected to the whims of those in power. That's why they enshrined the right to bear arms in the Bill of Rights. They wanted to ensure that future generations would have the means to protect their freedoms and resist any attempts at subjugation. It is a right that stands alongside freedom of speech, religion, and the press. These rights together form the bedrock of American society, each one reinforcing and supporting the others. These rights are all interconnected and equally vital for a free and prosperous society. The freedom to speak one's mind, to worship as one chooses, and to report the truth are all protected by the same principles that safeguard the right to bear arms. The Second Amendment is not about hunting or sport shooting, though these are legitimate activities protected by it. It is about something much deeper and more fundamental. It is about the fundamental right of self-preservation. The ability to defend oneself and one's loved ones is a basic human right, recognized and protected by the Second Amendment. It is about ensuring that the ultimate power in a free society remains with the people. The right to bear arms is a symbol of the trust placed in the citizenry to uphold and defend their own freedoms. It is a testament to the belief that a well-armed citizenry is the best defense against tyranny. The Founding Fathers believed that an empowered and vigilant populace was the key to maintaining liberty and justice for all. In today's world, the Second Amendment continues to be a topic of passionate debate. Its relevance and interpretation are discussed in courts, legislatures, and communities across the nation. While opinions may differ, the core principle remains the same. The right to bear arms is a fundamental aspect of American freedom. As we navigate the complexities of modern society, it is essential to remember the historical context and the enduring values that the Second Amendment represents. It is a reminder of the sacrifices made by those who fought for freedom and the ongoing duty to protect and preserve that freedom for future generations. The Second Amendment is more than a legal provision. It is a cornerstone of the American way of life. It embodies the spirit of independence, resilience, and the unwavering belief in the right to self-determination. As we reflect on the significance of this foundational right, let us honor the vision of the Founding Fathers and the enduring legacy of freedom they entrusted to us. The Second Amendment is a powerful reminder that the strength of a nation lies in the hands of its people. The Second Amendment does not grant a right. It is crucial to understand that the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution does not create or bestow a new right upon the people. Instead, it acknowledges a right that has always existed, a right that is fundamental to our very nature as human beings. It acknowledges a right that pre-exists government. This right is not something that was invented by the Founding Fathers or the framers of the Constitution. It is a right that predates the establishment of any government or legal system. It is a right that is inherent in our humanity, a right that is as old as time itself. This right is inherent in our humanity. It is a right that belongs to every individual, regardless of their background, ethnicity, or social status. It is a right that is universal and timeless, a right that is rooted in the very essence of what it means to be human. It is the right to defend our lives and our loved ones from those who would do us harm. This right to self-defense is not just about protecting ourselves from physical harm. It is about safeguarding our families, our homes, and our way of life. It is about ensuring that we have the means to protect those we care about from any threat that may arise. It is a right that cannot be taken away by any government. No government, no matter how powerful, has the authority to strip us of this fundamental right. It is a right that is beyond the reach of any legislative or executive power. The Second Amendment recognizes this fundamental truth and forbids the government from infringing upon it. The Second Amendment serves as a safeguard, a reminder that this right is inviolable and must be protected at all costs. It is a clear and unequivocal statement that the government has no authority to infringe upon our right to self-defense. The Founding Fathers understood that the right to self-defense is meaningless without the means to effectively defend oneself. They recognized that in order for this right to be truly meaningful, individuals must have access to the tools and means necessary to defend themselves effectively. The right to keep and bear arms is an essential component of the right to self-defense. It ensures that individuals have the ability to protect themselves and their loved ones from any threat, whether it be from a criminal, a tyrant, or any other source of danger. In today's world, firearms are the most effective and reliable means of self-defense. They provide individuals with the ability to defend themselves against attackers, regardless of their size, strength, or numbers. They level the playing field, allowing the weak to defend themselves against the strong. Firearms level the playing field, giving the weak and vulnerable the ability to defend themselves against those who would seek to do them harm. They provide a sense of security and empowerment, allowing individuals to take control of their own safety. They provide a deterrent against crime, making criminals think twice before targeting an armed citizen. Criminals are less likely to target individuals who are armed and capable of defending themselves. In a world where evil exists, the Second Amendment ensures that law-abiding citizens are not left defenseless. It is a vital safeguard that helps to maintain peace and security in our society. Our right to self-defense is not limited to our homes. The right to self-defense extends beyond the confines of our homes. It is a right that applies wherever we may be, whether we are at home, at work, or out in public. This right to self-defense also extends to our communities and our nation as a whole. It is a right that empowers us to protect not only ourselves, but also our neighbors and fellow citizens. The importance of an armed citizenry was not lost on the founders of the United States. They believed that the ability of the people to defend themselves was a cornerstone of a free society. This belief was deeply rooted in their understanding of history and their own experiences during the American Revolution. They were students of history, well versed in the lessons of the past. They pored over historical texts and classical writings, seeking wisdom from the experiences of previous civilizations. They understood that the right to bear arms was not just about hunting or personal protection, but about maintaining the balance of power between the government and the governed. They drew inspiration from historical examples that demonstrated the importance of an armed citizenry. The colonial militias, composed of ordinary citizens, had played a crucial role in the fight for independence. These militias were a testament to the power of a well-armed and organized populace. Ancient Rome, for example, understood the importance of citizen militias. The Roman Republic relied heavily on its citizen soldiers, who were expected to be ready to defend their city at a moment's notice. This system of citizen militias was a key factor in Rome's ability to expand and maintain its vast empire. Roman citizens were expected to be trained and equipped to defend their city. They were not professional soldiers, but ordinary men who took up arms when their city was threatened. This tradition of citizen militias helped to create a sense of civic duty and responsibility among the Roman people. This ensured a strong national defense and served as a deterrent to external threats. The presence of a well-armed citizenry made it clear to potential invaders that Rome was not an easy target. The citizen militias were a crucial part of Rome's military strategy and contributed to the city's long-standing security. The decline of the Roman Empire coincided with the erosion of these citizen militias. As Rome's power waned, the reliance on professional soldiers increased, and the tradition of citizen militias faded. This shift contributed to the weakening of Rome's defenses and ultimately to the fall of the empire. The Founding Fathers also looked to the English Bill of Rights of 1689. This document was a landmark in the history of individual rights and liberties. It recognized the right of Protestants to have arms for their defense, a right that had been denied by previous monarchs. This document, which inspired the United States Bill of Rights, explicitly recognized the right of Protestants to have arms for their defense. It was a response to the abuses of power by King James II, who had attempted to disarm his political opponents and consolidate his control over the country. These historical examples and many others demonstrate a universal truth: a disarmed populace is vulnerable to tyranny. The Founding Fathers understood that the right to bear arms was essential to the preservation of liberty and the prevention of government overreach. The Founding Fathers, acutely aware of this historical reality, enshrined the right to bear arms in the Constitution. They saw it as a fundamental right that would protect the people from potential abuses of power by the government. The discussion around the Second Amendment is as relevant today as it was at the time of America's founding. In a world where the balance of power between the government and the governed is constantly shifting, the right to bear arms remains a critical safeguard of liberty. Despite the passage of centuries, the principles enshrined in the Second Amendment continue to resonate. They serve as a reminder of the importance of vigilance and the need to protect our freedoms from potential encroachments. The right to bear arms is not just a relic of the past. It is a living testament to the enduring spirit of independence and self-reliance that defines the American identity. It allows individuals to defend themselves, their families, and their communities from potential threats. This personal aspect of the Second Amendment underscores its relevance in modern times, where concerns about crime and personal safety are ever present. In conclusion, the Second Amendment does not grant a right. It protects a pre-existing right from any government infringement. The Founding Fathers were very clear when they added the phrase, "shall not be infringed." Shall not be infringed means any and all firearm restrictions are unconstitutional. Shall not be infringed means no permits or permission slips are required. No limits on rate of fire or magazine capacity are allowed. No regulations or limits on calibers or barrel length. No background checks. No gun-free zones. The founders expected the citizens to be as well armed as the government and the standing army. Anything the government can own is constitutionally legal for the citizen to own. So what does the Second Amendment mean to me? It means that I have the ability to protect my loved ones, my property, my community, and myself from any threat. The Second Amendment does not grant a right. It bestows a duty on all citizens to be armed and be ready to defend yourself and your family. The Second Amendment means that a citizen's ability to obtain the tools of self-defense is free from any government overreach. Stay frosty, my friends. Keep your head down and your powder dry.